I met Feleg a long time ago doing some photo shoots for a vintage clothing company, and then I looked her back up a few months ago because I needed a model to walk in some high heels downtown. And as she and I were doing this, she models part-time still, but she's full-time a nurse. And we had this fascinating conversation because her family is from Eritrea, and that's where her parents are from. They immigrated here from Eritrea, and her first language was Tigrinya, and I hope I'm saying that right, or at least close to right. But she didn't learn English until she was about 5, and then learned Greek and French and a few others after that. But English is her second language, and as a nurse, we were having this conversation about how different your experience in a hospital can be if you don't speak English here in America. And this is my spin on it, but I feel like Americans can have a tendency to be very impatient with people who struggle to articulate what they're trying to say in English. And because of that, we can sometimes just leap to this subconscious conclusion of they're dumb. They don't understand because they can't articulate, and so therefore they're not thinking in as complex of a way as I am. And getting past that is so important. In healthcare, those assumptions can be not just dangerous, but impolite, and they can really affect somebody. And so we had this fascinating conversation, and then she agreed to do a What Have You Learned About This. And so this is a huge, long conversation that's a part of something so much bigger, but I was fascinated, and I asked her to do her best to boil it down into a tiny little video for me. So given all that background, which again is super summarized, I got to ask Feleg, what have you learned?
So I had an Arabic-speaking patient who everyone was like, oh, you have to get the translator because, it's just so hard. Like, he doesn't speak very much English and, it's like huge deal, which we have to get a translator on board whenever we're asking certain medical questions and just trying to get a feel or understanding of what's going on and symptoms and all of that. But I was like, you guys, So all I did was just like, I looked up how to say, hi, my name is Feleg. And just saying, even just hi in Arabic is merhaba. Merhaba, ismi Feleg. That was like the simplest thing that you can do just to connect with the patient. Yeah, you might not know the whole language, but you're just trying to show them that, hey, I'm open. I want to communicate with you. I understand that you don't understand very much English, but let's work together. And just like creating that environment was it just took my patient from like just the most, just super grumpy, you're in the hospital, you don't want to be there. On top of that, everyone else is speaking this language that you really can't communicate very well. And then this person comes in and just like relates to you, just like, oh man, just like his face just like lit up. It was just bright, and he was like, oh, okay, wow, do you know how to speak? And I was like, no, but we can work together. He goes, okay. So, we just like really worked together, and he was like, I want her as my nurse again, please. And I was like, oh, just that understanding, it just makes such a huge difference. I've learned to communicate and connect with people of diverse backgrounds, no matter whether I'm in the healthcare field, whether I'm in the restaurants, or just in everyday life. It's so important to just take time out and just pause and to be patient and to give someone the time and respect they deserve, because everyone has their own life story. They've come here from another country and having to learn not just the language, but culture and way of doing things that I get it, because I saw it firsthand with my parents and myself included. Just taking that time out and having that patience and just connecting with that person and meeting them on common ground is what I've learned to apply in my life, and especially working with my patients in the healthcare field as a nurse. See, like it just gets lost. I want to just like transplant what it is that I'm thinking to you. What have I learned? What have I learned?